Hopefully some people join me. If not, that's okay. You can watch it on the replay. I wanted to see how everybody was doing in this lockdown, whatever you want to call it. I hear a lot of people saying they're going crazy. They need to get out, they're bouncing off the walls. There was a little meme going around like, there's the one, I guess, introvert that's just like, yeah, writing and playing video games, whatever they're doing. And then the other one's like extrovert and they're like banging their head against the wall. Like they just can't deal with it. I'm definitely the introvert, I guess, according to that. But I don't know. I just kind of find things to do. And working at home, it's not really that big of an adjustment. Obviously, when I want to go to the store and stuff, that's a bit scary. But I've also been, hey, Tina, we're just chatting. We're talking about what we're doing. Are we learning new things? What are we doing during this lockdown? And for me, you may or may not know, I'm sure you do know, like that I have been building a YouTube channel in the past. And I don't know, I kind of let it go for a little while and I thought, I'm home. I just want to do it. Like for whatever reason, I've just always wanted to, not always, I should say in the last 5 years, I wanted to build my channel. And so I've been posting just recently like ukulele videos. So I just got obsessed with the ukulele not too long ago and I wanted to share. I don't know. And so I wake up this morning and I'm checking my emails and it says I have a comment on a video. So of course I'm reading it. And it's not on a ukulele video. It's actually on my homemade laundry soap video. I made, I don't know, a few years ago, I think, actually. And it's from some guy and he says this, and I'm going to quote it because I wrote it down. She's clueless. Baking soda is a filler. Epsom salt contaminates the batch with magnesium, which reacts with washing soda and borax, both of which are water softeners to form precipitates. Doesn't say how much to use. Not a detergent. The only surfactant is bar soap. Okay, so that's what he puts as a comment. Now, my initial reaction is like, really? You just have to, make a negative comment. That's my initial reaction. And it irks this little thing in my gut that says, you know what? This is why I've never wanted to put myself out there. That's where my mind goes still, even a little bit right now. Like, see, that's why I don't just say what I want to. That's why I don't share. That's why I don't do these things, because people just criticize me. So I get in that mode for a little bit, I tell my husband, I'm like, look at what this guy wrote. Okay, then once I get past that, I think, you know what? Who cares? The worst that can happen, what's the best that can happen? The worst that can happen, I guess people call them. They're the people that just comment and move on. Okay. But what's the best that can happen? The best that could happen is I connected with maybe another mom just like me that was trying to find a homemade version of a laundry soap to do one of the most basic things in a household is wash clothes. And it seems so simple when your child doesn't have severe eczema. Okay, it's so simple when people can just go to the store and buy one off the shelf and use it. Okay, so this guy makes his comment. He knows nothing about all of that, which, okay, I get it. I'm posting a video and I don't put my whole story on every video, but nobody knows what another person's situation is, So at the time I made this video and the soap, I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to try because I kind of have to because I need to wash clothes. And I'm going to try just because I don't know what else to do. Like, why not? Why not try? Homemade stuff that's what it's good for. You can tweak it to however it works for you. You can use oils in it. You don't have to use oils in it. You can use the salt, or like this guy says that's the stupidest thing ever. Okay, don't use the salt. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm just trying to do the best I can. So I don't know. That was kind of my, I don't want to call it a rant, but I just wanted to jump on here and hey, Christy and Trish, how you guys doing? I just wanted to see where you guys are all at. What are you doing? Are you like, what's something you guys really want to do in general in life? Okay. Do you want to learn guitar? Do you want to, learn how to dance? Do you want to write a book? I don't know. Like, what is it that you want to do? And then what is holding you back from doing that? Like, I'm curious. I'm like learning how to do new things on here. I try to do like a poll or something, but I don't know, that got messed up. I wanted to know what's holding you back from doing that thing? Like, what's holding you back from, maybe you want to learn how to play the saxophone. Okay, I don't know. What's holding you back? Is it money because you can't afford it? Is it time? Because right now, time is what we have, right? Because we're all stuck at home, so we have time. So we kind of can't say that anymore, right? So what's the next one? I mean, money could be a valid one, but what else? I'm just curious because mine has always been, let me see, love these questions. I always use time as, I know, we all do. So, and I hear people, I don't know, just in general, just saying, oh, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to do that. Well, now they have all the time in the world, and then they're complaining that they can't just go to work. Okay, so then you're at work and you're complaining that you can't just be home with your family. All right, there's something in there that's kind of missing and not connecting correctly. I don't know. I'm just saying. But um, so I'm just curious because mine has always been, I mean, okay, let's say take the ukulele for example, or guitar. Okay, so I've played guitar since I was about 8 years old, and probably most of my friends never even knew that. Why? Because it was like one of those things where I was scared to share. I was scared to put myself out there, like as, I don't want to say a performer because it's not to that level, but for whatever reason, the fear of judgment kept me from that, kept me from playing my music in front of people, even like my neighbors. So I'm part of this group, this Play on the Porch 2020, that one of my friends invited me to, and I thought it was pretty cool. And it's just everybody, they give you like a song of the day if you want to learn it or if you know it, and they suggest at 6 o'clock everybody go outside and sing or play or whatever, just to kind of, throw the happy good vibes out there. And so even even with that in my little circle where I live, it's not really, there's not a ton of people around, but I still, like, I haven't been able to actually play on the porch yet. So I've been recording my playing just in my safe little cozy, office with my, all my stuff, my desk, all my little my safe zone. That's where I've been recording. And that's okay because you know what? I'm taking baby steps because the first big one is just doing it. And so if I back up and I, think about it myself, it's like, what is the worst that can happen if I share? Just stop and think of what you really want to do. Like, what is the absolute worst that could happen? Okay, so you want to learn how to knit and you're like, fine, I'm just going to go for it. But this is the worst thing that can happen is I start knitting and I just get this whole knot. Oh, I can't, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so if that's the worst that can happen, is it really that bad? I don't know. But what's the best that could happen? You start knitting and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. And you end up learning how to knit a blanket or, whatever. And it turns out to be something that is your go-to, is your like escape from the craziness, your kind of thing for the day where you can just sit down in front of the fireplace or whatever and just knit. I think of my mom because that's totally her. That is her place. That is her comfort. That is her everything. That anything time she has just sit and do nothing. It's sit, and she can't just sit and do nothing. She's going to crochet or knit or something. So what's the worst that can happen if I jumped on my ukulele or guitar? I recorded myself and posted it. What was the absolute worst that I thought could happen? That I had to record it about 85 times, because that did actually happen. My hands were all sweaty, and I don't know what happens when you guys get nervous, but like my cheeks get all like flushed, and my hands and all that. Okay, so if I just get through all that, so okay, what's the worst that can happen? So you post the video, and what? Nobody watches it or whatever. The actual like posting of it and saying, I'm going to do it anyway, is kind of like the victory. It's kind of saying, okay, I did it. And then you kind of sit there and you like catch your breath, like, oh my gosh, I just posted that. I just played and I was singing. Oh my gosh, I don't ever do that, but I did it. And then Christy, I'm using I'm using you for an example, because I thought that was so awesome that you saw one of the ukulele videos. I don't know if it was the first one, and you're like, oh my gosh, guitar has always been on my bucket list. And I told you, which is truthful now, maybe some other people like always want to play guitar. Ukulele is way easier to learn than the guitar, like by leaps and bounds. I mean, you have 6 strings on a guitar and only 4 on a ukulele. And it's smaller. It's just easier to learn and to pick up. So you told me, and you messaged me, and I remember you were like, oh my gosh, I just ordered my ukulele. I can't wait to get started. So I had been freaking out and worrying about what is the worst that could possibly happen by me posting a video that, oh, maybe nobody watched it, and maybe somebody said, you're not very good, or okay, whatever. But what was the best that could happen? One of my closest friends tells me, oh my gosh, you just inspired me to literally get on and order a ukulele, and I'm learning how to play it now. And it's bringing me and my kids closer. My mom, we're having this bonding time learning it together. Oh my gosh, Christy, I thought that was so awesome. So I was freaking out about sharing because I'm embarrassed, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not that good, and I don't want people to judge me. But then I did it, and I realized, first of all, who cares? Who cares? I'm at least trying, this whole try, just try. What could possibly be the worst that would happen? And once we really think about that, it's not really bad, right? The worst is not really that bad. But the best is like way better than you think the best could be, truthfully. Christy, thank you for sharing this really real truth as new entrepreneurs and influencers. Right. So that's kind of where this is all leading me, because I strayed from my entrepreneurship a little bit, with building, business and kind of putting myself out there in that way. I kind of put it on hold. I don't know. I guess I lost myself a little bit. I've had a lot of other things kind of going on in my personal life, but besides that, I don't know. It's the mom. Is it the mom guilt? Does anybody else have mom guilt? Like, I really want to do this, but I'm just mom. Like, I'm mom. That's my first job, is to be mom. So it's to take care of my kids, my husband, do the things for them. And the stuff for me kind of just gets, I don't want to say like completely gotten rid of, but it just gets pushed back, you know? And I don't know, it's that guilt. I use an example too of like I go shopping, okay? And this is even my husband. Here's some money, go shopping, go buy some clothes. And so I'm looking at clothes and oh, this is cute, this is cute. And by the time I get to the register, I've already convinced myself that I don't need those things, and that actually my kids need new shoes and their pants have holes, and I really shouldn't just spend, I don't really truly need these clothes. Like, I have things to wear. They really need that stuff more than I need what I want. And so I talk myself out of it, or I might have, 6 or 7 things, and by the time I get to the register, I just get like one. And I go, no, it's too much. I'll just get one thing. That guilt just kind of pours over me. I don't know. Does anybody else feel like that with anything? And so maybe that's part of it with building a business and doing all these things that literally require me to have me time. It's me time. It's my time where I sit and I brainstorm, or I'm learning a new program. I'm learning how to do graphics. Christy, without you, I wouldn't learn how to do any of that stuff. But it's time that I have to take where I have to tell my kids. They're kind of used to it because I've been working at home for a while, but it's like, okay, I have to do this. And so, I mean, if it's an emergency, it's okay. But, you know, your brother stealing your toy is not an emergency, so don't come banging down my door because of that, you know, and they laugh and run away. It's fun. But sometimes I feel like as moms, I don't know, we get that guilt where we think, I can't just go take a bath and relax and unwind and do all that because I don't know, I just can't. I don't have time. Well, we can't say we don't have time anymore. Who's got time? We all do, right? Christy, I've had to protect my business time too because it's easy to put family first 24/7. I know, and I would probably, I mean, I would like be willing to bet that most moms feel like that. I don't want to say everybody, but it's just kind of like built in. As soon as you become a mom, you're like, okay, my only job right now is to take care of my kids. And my situation, I had both of my kids had, I don't want to say like extreme issues, but a lot of issues that were not normal to have to deal with and to figure out. And I didn't really have help from the conventional ways and, you know, the doctors. I'm not saying they didn't help me out at all, but I really had to weed through and figure out what is going to work for me, you know. And so that's how I got into the oils and all that kind of stuff, because I thought, once I learned all this homemade things, I was just like, well, I can just, all right, so if somebody's sensitive to baking soda, then I just don't put the baking soda in. Big deal. Okay, it still works without it. So anyway, but I had a lot of really, I don't want to say time consuming. I don't know the right word. It was just an effort, an extra effort to help my kids, to help the problems that they had and kind of weed through unknown ground, especially in my family. Just nobody had to really deal with the things that we had to with our kids. And so I might have more of an extreme feeling, and maybe that's why I felt like that. I'm going, okay, well, you know, they need me. They need me to do this. I need to come up with a new recipe for this because now all of a sudden this is making him break out, and I need to do this, and this upsets his stomach, and I need to figure out this. It was this like constant, all the time, coming up with new things. Well, I guess with all this shut in and just, I don't want to say recently because it kind of was happening before, but I just thought, I deserve it. I deserve to do things that I want to do too. And it doesn't make me any less of a mom. It doesn't make me a bad mom. In fact, what it does is it shows, because you know those kids that you have, they're watching. They're watching you, good or bad. So they're watching you. I tell my husband this because sometimes it's the bad. I'm like, you, whether you're doing something good or bad. So what you're doing is you're showing your kids, you know what? Follow your heart. You're giving them a lesson. You're saying, what's in your heart? First of all, recognize it. Some people just ignore it. They're like, I don't know, I don't have time to dream. I don't have time to have goals. I just go through my day. All I want to do is get through my day. I mean, they make it sound like it's just this horrible. I just got to wake up and get through my day. I hate my job and whatever, and then just get through without like breaking down more than 3 times. That's what I need to do every day. Well, some people don't teach their kids. It's actually good to have dreams and goals. And so what if I tell my kids, like, it doesn't matter what you want to do, what's in your heart. There's no, the sky's the limit, okay? I know that's like a thing that's overplayed and oversaid, but that's really true, and that's what I try to tell them. So they're watching me, And that's probably one of the things that really gave me the most push was like, they're watching me chicken out if I don't do this. It's something I really want to do, and I'm telling them, you know what? You should care more about what other people think. You shouldn't just follow your heart. What you should do is think about all the people that are going to judge you and all the negative feedback. You should think about that. I mean, just saying that right now, doesn't that sound like? So without saying that, that's what they're seeing and that's what they're learning. Now, on the flip side, and actually, before I posted the first ukulele, before I like recorded it, I remember standing in the kitchen with my 8-year-old and I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, I know I shouldn't be, but like I had this just little bit of a vulnerable moment with him, and he's like, why? You're really good. You should just do it. You're good, mom. And then like he just bounced away like whatever. And I go, okay, it just kind of gives you this moment like, why am I reading into it so far? If I want to do something, just do it. So then I do it, and I'm showing them. And guess what? I mean, they're like, I want to record a video, which they do have their own YouTube channel, but they get so excited and inspired. They grab their ukuleles and they're playing and they're like, I want to make a video about, and I don't know, it gives me goosebumps too, Christy, because I'm like, that's awesome. That is so awesome because I want them to feel that. I want them to grow up knowing that it doesn't matter what other people are doing, okay? I mean, you can get inspired by other people, but do what you want to do. Don't let the fear of judgment or negative feedback hold you back from doing what it is you want to do. So I don't know. I just wanted to get on here. I haven't done a live. Well, actually, I did do a live showing you guys how to make the thieves wipes, but I felt like I hadn't really got on and kind of spoke my mind a little bit. Maybe it's just because I keep seeing a lot of the negative, like people are, I mean, you can't make everybody happy, we know, like president, whoever's making the rules right now, okay, I don't know, whether you agree or disagree, it just is what it is. So I choose to wake up every morning and just be like, I don't know, I'm just going to roll with it. And I am of the belief that things happen for a reason. And you might not know what that is at the moment. You might think, oh, sucks, man. I don't understand. And I could be doing this, this is crap. I don't know why this rule's there. It just is, and it's for a reason. There is a reason. So I choose to wake up now and think, all right, well, I'm home. I have time. I have the resources. I have whatever, and I can just do it. Like, I don't have an excuse anymore. I can just do it. And it's made me, it kind of snowballs, once you do that first thing, like whatever it is, nobody's sharing. Nobody's sharing. It's okay though. Whatever that thing is, once you finally do that and you realize that it's not so bad and it actually was kind of rewarding, you're like, what else can I do? And it kind of snowballs from there. And pretty soon you're just like, I can do whatever I want. I can do things. I can do this. And your kids, your family, they're watching you and they're learning that too. So I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and kind of share that and my own little reflection this morning on that negative comment I had. And the other thing too, just on a side note, I don't know if anybody out there wants to build a YouTube channel or, anything like that, but online or on social media, putting yourself out there on YouTube. Okay. So you get those people, the trolls, and they make negative comments. Guess what? There's still views on your videos and your channel. So you should thank them anyway. And I kind of do. I'm like, thanks for stopping by, with a smiley face, like, I don't know if you're trying to get me to argue, but I'm not arguing. That's cool. Thanks for the views, and I'll move on because, most people want to get on YouTube to get views and whatever, try to share things, but maybe also try to eventually, get some money or, feedback or something from it, other than just sharing, which is just awesome in and of itself too. But just a side note. The negative comments, oh gosh, the negative comments can be good too. Anyways, I guess I gotta go. I'm getting a phone call that I have to take. But I don't know, if you're watching on the replay or something and you want to throw in a comment, I'd love to hear what you guys want to do. When you're locked up, what's something that if you could, you would just do it right now? I don't know, anything. It doesn't even have, there's no limits here. Whatever it is, if you want to share. And maybe I'll jump on again sometime soon and we can talk some more. All right? Stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.